Well, hello, everybody. Hope you're all doing fantastically well. A bit of a soft intro there. No banging music behind the countdown. No sort of exuberant introduction or anything like that. I think, we're quite calm and chilled going into this one. I'm maybe slight nerves, but I'm quite excited. A top of the table-ish clash between Leeds and Burnley. A good weekend for the Clarets and the Whites. Plymouth halting the Black Cats, and of course, Hull smashing the Blades on Friday night. Sets up a mouth-watering encounter between Leeds and Burnley. The best defence against the best attack. So, and there's no one who I could think of better than this individual who we've had on the channel before. I've been on his as well. It's Liam Vizzer who's joined me for this one. Make sure you check on Vizzer's channel. I'm sure you have, but he's going to be joining me to speak on everything Leeds United. Here we go. There he is. Look, this is the great promoter. The great promoter. Let's get him in. How you doing, mate? All good?
Yeah, well, good, man. It's going to be a tough one tomorrow, and I'm scared to be just a really awful 0-0 draw. So here's to try to make it somewhat entertaining.
Yes. So I was gauging his sort of aura backstage, and I was thinking, is he going to come in? To be fair, Liam never comes in with this bullshit attitude or anything like that. We've got a Sheffield United fan who we have on, Liam, sort of every week, and he really does give it. But I didn't think you'd be doing that, and you've come on here. It's quite a somber attitude, and we're just chatting as well beforehand now, because you do a lot of the general stuff. You can kind of move away from Burnley sometimes, which must be quite nice for your mental state.
Yeah, mate, especially last year. I think if I was just doing Burnley content last year, I think I'd be in a river somewhere because it was god awful. And even this year, it's been not even that nice. So, yeah, I need to do something different just for my own mental sanity. Thank God I have kids, basically. That's what, and I live in a different country. So that's a good benefit as well.
That's it, mate. That's it. Well, Liam, lifelong Burnley fan. If you haven't seen him before, mental. Make sure you check on his channel. Everybody will put a link in the description below. I'm sure it's in the title as well. But big game, mate. And we've actually been helped out hugely this weekend. 2 absolute certs, which you'd sort of expected when it came to Hull and Plymouth going to our rivals in Sunderland and Sheffield United. You thought the latter would be picking up all 3 points there. I mean, I think Sunderland on a pre-match prediction of a 4-0, might have been even a 5-0. Sheffield United, I think, I had on as a 3-0 against Hull. And it's kind of worked our way, bizarrely, hasn't it, this weekend?
It's been ridiculous, to be fair. I mean, I was watching the whole game, and I don't know, the thing is, my kind of general feeling towards like this, I guess, title fight between like the top 4 teams is that I think we're all pretty like not shit, but we're not that great. Like none of us are like, because when you talk to most fans at other clubs, you talk to a Sheffield Wednesday fan or a Coventry fan, they'd be like, yeah, they weren't that good. And it's like, that's the case of most teams in the top 4 race. Like, yeah, but they weren't that impressive. And I kind of feel that way, that you weren't as good as you were last year. We were nowhere near as good as we were back in the company year. Same thing with Sheffield United 2 years ago. So it's just kind of like, and Sunderland are a team full of 16-year-old kids. So it's basically a fact of whoever goes up this year, end of the day, we don't stand a fucking chance in Prem this year. So let's just have fun while we can here, boys, and then suffer together next season. And that's my video. See ya. There we go. I don't care who fucking wins anymore.
Yeah, cheers for joining, mate. It is a weird thing, isn't it, when it comes to because the thing is, I think a lot of my pessimism, and sort of negativity per se comes from looking at things from a long-term lens, to be honest, Liam. And I am very much like that at the minute. I'm trying to enjoy the journey as much as I can, because I know the destination is going to be hellish for that first year. And even if you do make like 10 out of 10 recruitment choices, you just know that squad churn adapting to that level, and mate, how much has it even moved on in like 2 or 3 years? My goodness, that level is just a joke now. Every single team full of 12, 13 internationals. I was looking at Wolves early on when everyone was saying they were going to go down. I was looking at the team, I'm like, I mean, they could still go down, but I'm looking at the team and I'm like, there's like 9 or 10 international footballers in there. It's like the gulf is massive. It's a chasm, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, and each year it'd be even more. I've got Liam talking Bobbins here. I don't know if he's a Leeds fan or not. Maybe he hopes he'll stay up.
Could be Burnley fan.
Is he a Burnley fan?
I don't know.
I don't know. Like the thing is, like, of course you're gonna have hope the next year. You could get it right, but I mean, it's a massive gulf in quality. And the fact of the matter is that
it's more of a fear of consequence if you don't go up, because the players, I mean, you saw that last year, you lost Somerville, you lost Jorginho Rutter. So of course, like, it's more consequence of, if you don't go up, then it leaves one more year of risk of just becoming mid-table mediocrity like Stoke City, for example, right? So it's more of a case of, well, we just don't want to just be here forever than just going for another year of suffering again. So that's basically what we're dealing with here for both me and you.
It's interesting. It's interesting you were speaking there, mate, about Leeds not being as good. Do you know what? I've not looked, because obviously Rutter, Somerville, Gray, and Glenn Kamara is another one as well, Liam. It was a big one leaving for us. But I think the only thing with Leeds is, like with the likes of Tanaka, who I think has been arguably the signing of the season. I think Ramazani coming in has done well when he's been fit. Solomon has been a decent sign. He's coming really good right now. I think when you look at the Leeds side now, it's probably a little bit more balanced than what it was. I think we're quite individualistic last season. There was a heavy reliance on Rutter and Somerville. I'd say that's the only thing that I would say with Leeds, maybe in comparison to the other sides, is we look a lot more balanced. And I think maybe that's because we've had that second year, whereas you and Sheffield United haven't had that second year yet. That's probably the only thing I would say.
Does
with
balance mean that you're better then, or just that you got more options of how to go at a team?
I think
and not as predictable.
Yeah, I think the latter. That's exactly right. I think are we better than with Rutter and with Somerville? I think there's definitely a conversation there, because those two were just, two of the best, players that the Championship have ever seen, really. In my personal opinion, in terms of quality. But yeah, man, I think that's a really good way of putting it. I think it's just options, but I think options win your leagues, don't they?
Well, I mean, dare I say, if you had this team then for the final last year, do you think it'd be a different game?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. I mean, we were just talking off air as well, weren't we? Just general sort of look at things as well. I think you were talking about, well, let's pivot to this anyway. We'll get into your defensive record. Obviously 9 conceded. I'm sure you're sort of bored of hearing this right now, but it's a nice statistic for, I'm sure, Scott Parker to herald as well as Burnley fans. I mean, talk to us about it, mate. How impressive is that?
Well, Scott Parker or the defensive record?
Well, Scott Parker cultivating that defensive record, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's something that I heard a lot when we appointed him from the likes of Bournemouth and, maybe a bit of fun as well, but mainly Bournemouth fans, which, by the way, they both despise him anyway. That is, the fact of the matter is that they were saying, okay, he probably will get you up, but it won't be nice to watch. And that you're going to feel like you should smash a team 3-4-0. Funny considering we just beat Plymouth 5-0, but that's the only time this year that we've smashed a team since the second game of the year against Cardiff, which we had a different team completely. Like, when you feel like you're a better team, you should just smash them and be 3-0 and comfortable. It's never that way. It's always a lot more just sticking in the game and being a lot more defensive minded, structured, and it makes games a lot more tougher than what they need to be. So it's always a 1-0. Like, I think I saw a stat from what I checked up was that we've scored 2 goals or more only 7 times this year, basically. And a defensive, but I saw one crazy stat. Other than Watford at home, which was like a month ago, we've only conceded late in the game from the 60th minute onwards once. That's great. So from the 60th minute onwards, I saw the stat like 2 weeks ago, so maybe it's changed now, but basically since Watford, that's the only time that we've conceded from the 60th minute onwards, I'm pretty sure, for the entire season. But I may need to check if that's still the case, because I saw that tweet like a week or 2 ago. But I'm pretty sure that could still be accurate, because we've not conceded much really at all, other than when's the last time we conceded a goal? Watford, yeah. So we've conceded 1 goal past the 60th minute the entire season so far, which is a crazy stat, because it sounds fake.
Well, what is it, Liam? Is it? I mean, I've been really impressed with Egan Riley, to be honest. I think he's coming in and been a bit underrated in that. But obviously, there's a lot of talk about Esteve. But I think Egan Riley's had a really, really top season so far. I mean, Roberts coming in at right back. I mean, he couldn't even get in at Leeds, which is, I mean, is it the unit that's doing exceptionally well, or is it individual quality at that back line, or is it just the simple, next level James Trafford in there? Like, what is it that's just keeping that defense so
It's absolutely is a unit. It absolutely is. Everyone is there to play a role. Jed Ananti, as well, that he's there to also act like a right wing back as well at the same time. The second that we are on the break, everyone's sprinting back into positions, and it is a complete unit. It is really well drilled, and that's like, that's my thing. It's like people talk about the defensive record. We can't score too many goals. We can't break teams down. We've had 7 0 draws this season, by the way, and we are really poor at home, by the way, against any team, but especially against a team like a Preston, a QPR. I think what was another really bad game? Preston, QPR, Oxford.
Was it Derby? Was it Derby?
Oxford, Derby. We drew a 0-0 to all these teams, which just was there to frustrate us, and we just can't break them down. And you know what? It sounds crazy, but like I would have much more faith if we went away to Ellen Road and played you guys now than playing you at home, because we are just a different team. Because I think we set up like how we played you when we beat you early in the year, that we were just a much more suited counter-attacking team, so could pressure and hit you guys on the break. And when it comes to trying to break a team down, we just struggle so much more. But again, it almost sounds stupid because, hey, we just beat a team 5-0 like a couple of days ago, right? But I think that's an outlier to the general rule.
Yeah, what did you make to that? The game at Ellen Road, it was so interesting, wasn't it, from a tactical perspective, because Leeds were probing, and we just couldn't get through. It was, and I guess it's once again that I can tell, Liam, you maybe not convinced by the whole defensive argument, but we just couldn't get through. And maybe it was obviously Joseph went through, didn't he, inside sort of 7 minutes and had to score. Didn't put the ball about 3 yards wide, and maybe that would have changed the game a little bit. But we just couldn't get through. It was, you guys were really, I thought you were quite impressive on that counter-attack. And actually, Liam, your biggest threat I felt in that game, who's been off the boil, was Koleosho. I mean, he was a massive problem in that game. I felt he was a constant threat, and since then it's been a little bit weak from him, hasn't it? I guess.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's been one of the kind of the shames, like disappointments of the season. The fact that he should be much more than what he is, but he's just got generally like no input. He's like a Traore, but worse, where he's just got some pace and some like excitement on the ball. He can run past a man. But what he does after he gets past that man is he can't really shoot. He has no left foot. So he's just predictable. So that's the issue with him, that he's just easy to read. And unfortunately, that's just what happened with him this year. So Koleosho, I mean, I don't think he's played. I don't think he's started a game for about 3 months now. So yeah, he definitely won't be playing. That's the thing. Like our wingers are predominantly like just kind of safe wingers. Like Jadon Ante, for example, right? He doesn't really get me on my feet much at all, but like he's safe. Like he's a simple 6 out of 10 every game. Like, and that's it. But he's our best winger pretty much. Like I think it's because it's a contrast of what happened in the company season with Asaruri and Emmanuel Benson, that we've just got these players that can really take on a man and do something crazy, and that have that individual quality to him to take on a man. We've just really not got that right now. We've just got know-how. We've got experience. We've got Josh Brownhill that we just know where to be. He's got that individual quality and that intelligence to drag a player out of position. Zian Fleming, he knows how to take a player out of position to opens up space for someone else. So this game, honest to God, will just be very similar to a Sunderland game, where it will be a 0-0 or 1-0 either way. There's no other way. I saw Leeds fans like saying, I'll be 3-1 or whatever. Like, you're not scoring 3 goals past us. If you're going to win, it'd be 1-0, because Parker will not attack you guys. I don't know how Farke will set up, but he will not attack you. He will make sure that we're going to have a lot of the ball, and just you may hope to hit us on the break and counter us. And I think that's your best way of beating us, really, is to try to just hit us when we do overcommit. That's the way I see it anyway, because that's when we are typically at our weakest.
You enjoying watching Burnley this season?
Not too much. A bit better now, but in that kind of November, October time period, I've got 2 daughters, man. I'd rather just be with them. Like, there was a many times this year, at least I've not watched like 5, 6, 7 games this year, because it's like I'm with my daughters. I got to come back to go watch the game on a dodgy box because I live in Poland. I don't live in the country. Otherwise, I'd be at the games, obviously. But I'd rather just stay out with my kids at the park or whatever else than watch another shitty 0-0 draw away at Oxford United or Derby at home or QPR at home or Preston or 0-0s. So I'd rather just do that.
So what would you say to people? Because it's such an interesting conversation, this, I find, because like there's been some Leeds fans who have like, it's something similar with Farke a little bit. I know we've scored a lot of goals, but some Leeds fans, a couple of my mates as well, who are season ticket holders, it's very much like, yeah, we're bored of it at the minute. We're absolutely bored of it. But I guess, can you be bored of it when
you're top of the league?
Yeah, that's it. And you guys have you could really close the gap. I mean, you could be on level on points with this, can't you? It's a joint top of the league. It's a weird notion, isn't it, Liam? How you can be bored and it can be just mundane and you're not enjoying it. I'm not saying that's me with Leeds, by the way, but I do know people who are Leeds fans, who are regulars at Leeds, who experience the same thing as you're experiencing right now. It's strange, isn't it?
And it almost comes across as if you're being spoilt and like you're not really, because again, if you're talking to a mid-table Championship fan, you're talking to a Swansea fan or whoever else, they'll be like laughing at us, thinking like, "What the fuck are you complaining about?" You know, like you're just being an idiot, which is potentially true, to be fair. Again, Scott Parker will aim to frustrate the life out of you, basically, and just aim to have a lot of possession and basically defend as a unit. I don't really know what our way of attacking is. I can't really explain it to you. We're not really a crossing team. We don't really have too much intricate football. That in terms of like, I don't know. I don't really know what our way of passing through a team really is. Like Plymouth, we did it really well because they are god awful. Funny how they drew to Sunderland somehow still. But other than that, we struggle.
That's just like the Championship, isn't it?
Yeah, like again, I can't tell what our style of play really is. Like it's just intelligent know-how. That's the only way I can really explain it. We're not a set piece. I think we've scored one set piece all year. We don't concede set pieces either. We just kind of just are there, existing, keeping 1-0s. That's why I don't know how good we really are. I don't know. It's weird. Like we're third. If you win tomorrow, I think we'd be joint top with you, right? And you'd be just ahead with goal difference. But yeah, like again, I have more faith beating you than I do our next game beating Pompey away. Yeah, I have more faith beating you than Pompey away. Because they would just aim to set up deep and frustrate the life out of us, which you would at least be somewhat open at the back because you'd be going for the game. Yeah. Or maybe you tell me something different. I don't know about Falk and how he sets up against, top sides away from home.
Yeah. I think we'll go for it, mate. I think it's gonna, and that's maybe where it's gonna help Burnley as well in that transition. I think Brownhill's been excellent. I've always been a big fan of him. I've always been a big fan, and I've got flack, mate. I've got a lot of flack on this channel for being a big sort of advocator of Josh Brownhill. I always have, to be honest, but he always produces, and I think he's always been decent for you guys in the Premier League as well. Chris, a Burnley fan, has just mentioned, he said he just feels short-sighted from the Burnley board, as if we'd kept the squad together from last year, we'd have walked. I guess that transition can always be quite difficult, can't it, Liam?
It'd be tough to expect the likes of Zeki Amdouni and Wilson Odobert that are top players to stay in Championship. Like, it's easier said than done. Sanderberg as well, for example, like, you don't know what happens behind the scenes. And if a player is just mentally checked out and they don't want to be there, it's just much better just to say, okay, go, mate. Yeah. It's much better for everyone involved. Like, I know some players in the club just basically dropped their tools and just said, look, I don't want to be here anymore, because they didn't come for Burnley. They came for Vincent Kompany. That's because most of them said it in their interviews when he signed for us. They were like, when someone like Vincent Kompany, gives you when he calls you up, when he asks you to come, you can't say no. And it's not about Burnley I'm not going to act dumb and act like Burnley's a massive club which every player wants to come to. But that was basically the idea that it was more Vincent Kompany than it was the club and the vision of the project, the club. And it's more Vincent Kompany's project and his idea. So when he's not here, you won't want to stay, would you?
No.
And by the way, we've signed Ashley Barnes and John Joel Shelby as our only transfers this window. And that looks like it's going to stay that way.
Yeah, Andy, big Burnley fan near me, Liam, actually, on the dark side of Manchester. Yep, quite boring, safe, good on transitional, good individuals. CJ, Egan Riley, obviously a massive bonus line breaker with his passes. And Andy's also said 51-49 in the favour of Leeds. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's. Do you know what it is, Liam? I'm more excited. I've been quite similar, to be honest. It sounds kind of dour, really, but I'm not. I'm more expectant, and I think it is arrogance. And I think when your clubs like us in this division, you can be arrogant. You kind of expectant most weeks now, to be honest with you. Sheffield Wednesday, Norwich, but I think we need to get out of this division this year, mate, because I'm looking at next year, and I know there's going to be turnover next year. But I'm looking at the clubs coming down and I'm thinking, I don't want to be involved in any of that. Get me up now when the league is crap.
Yeah, this is the best time to go up right now. I don't know what Thomas Jack is saying in chat, as if I don't think you can listen, mate, because I didn't anticipate that Leeds is. When did I say that Leeds is not bigger than Burnley? Since when did I say that? Leeds will always be a big club. Okay, since when did I say? Of course, Leeds are a bigger club than Burnley. I'm not fucking stupid, Jesus. Guys, this comes from a guy which would openly say in like the transfer on like the rival derby debate, saying that Blackburn are probably a bigger club in people's eyes than Burnley because they won the Premier League.
Yeah,
so if you're outside the bubble, of course you'll say Blackburn. Doesn't even think Burnley will sell next week. Probably not. No, I don't. I can't see anyone leaving. The only thing, so basically, I saw the comment about CJ Egan Riley. He surprised me a lot. He's a very intelligent player. He kind of does remind me a bit like a Ben Mee, where he's not like a massive physical player, but he's very intelligent and he knows where to be. He knows where to be on the pitch, and he's got just that know how to intercept a ball. But that's my issue of thinking. Let's say if you go up, I just don't know if he can go into Premier League. We already know Connor Roberts can't do it in Premier League. We already know that Josh Brownell can't really do it in the Premier League. And Perez definitely can't do it in Premier League. Humphries can't do it in Premier League. I can know that for sure. Esteve is a good player. I would maybe say, I would like to say Esteve, I'd say is the best centre-half in the league, but you may say something different to one of your centre-halves. But yeah, Trafford's also huge as well.
Yeah, 100%. Trafford. I mean, I have to say I was doing a bit of a watch along, Liam, for the Sunderland one in it. I have to say, with Trafford, it just felt inevitable. It just felt inevitable that he was going to get to both of them. And yeah, it's interesting how Thomas Tuchel was talking about getting championship players into the squad, and he's not going to turn his nose up at that one. And yeah, he's excelling at this level, isn't he? Again, mate.
I think if you was to, let's say, have James Trafford instead of Melier, you'd be probably on 70 points by now.
mate, I'm happy you're saying it because I've been banging this drum for about 4 years. Never mind this year. Jesus Christ.
Well, I do like to keep in contact with some club channels, especially in Championship, and of course the Square Ball is one which I like to listen to because I just think they're just really good lads and they're professional. And it's been kind of funny, especially after like a whole game. It was a really funny one just to listen in to your perspective on things. And yeah, I mean, Melier, he's not really changed much at all. I didn't think he was really that great in Premier League. Just a good pass on the ball back then, and I don't think he's even got better, or it's actually more regressed since then. So for me, he just still looks like a child in a big league. Just physically, he's just still not got that. He reminds me a bit of the critique that Trafford had last year in Premier League, that he's still like a bit of a child, so he can't really control a box. He's not got that physical edge to tell people what to do. He's not got that leadership characteristic. That's kind of how I feel like maybe is happening with Melier as well, that he just looks like he's still out of place and not really grown into his role.
I think the thing with Melier is as well, Liam, is it's just the development since Bielsa. It's been shocking. He's regressed hugely, and at least Trafford's career now is on an upward trajectory. This guy's had a lot of game time. You know, Eli Melier, even for his age, it's been pretty abundantly poor, to be honest. And I think everyone's starting to see it now with this season. I think he's on a -2 goals prevented already. I think Trafford's on something like a +9. So he's saved.
It was 8.6, I think it was. Saved goals or whatever it is, prevented goals, I think it was.
It just it can get you up, mate. But I agree, I completely agree with you. And maybe that's what I'm thinking with Leeds. If we actually had someone in the net, who wasn't a polo mint, we'd be far away clear, I think, at the minute. But it is what it is. So you're expecting a bit of a stodgy affair tomorrow, not a classic for the neutral.
It'd be similar to the game that we had against Sunderland, where I think we'll start off maybe all right, where we'll just aim to have more of the ball, and then you'll probably go into the game and kind of get into the rhythm of it. In terms of your attackers, like, would it be the same team you went up against Norwich with, in terms of Dan James be starting the wing with Solomon? Or
yeah, so how I think he's going to go is, just giving you a full team, mate. I think it's going to be Melier in net, Bogle, Rodon, and Purdue. Obviously, Strauch's out, which I think is something that you can target. Firpo, I think he's going to be at left side. Then it's going to be Tanaka, Rothwell, and then I think it's going to be, as you were, it's going to be James, Aronson, Solomon, and Peru. I think that's the way he'll go tomorrow.
I just don't know. Like, I just don't know how much it really threatens me in comparison to, I don't know. like Dan James doesn't fill me with much fear. Now that I say that he's going to score tomorrow, Perot, like I just know that Joe Perot is always a player which is very just hot and cold, and like for you, from what I've seen, like he's usually more cold than he is hot. From what I've seen from your fan base, maybe he's in form now. Is he in form now?
Yes, he's on and off, Liam, to be honest. He's on and off. There's a goal here, there's a goal there, and he'll sort of add to his tally, throughout the season without doing anything. And he's just, it feels like with Peru, he's in just a constant form of just like on and off. If you get my drift, it's kind of, he'll pop up with a goal and then he'll go sort of like 2 or 3 games without scoring, which, a lot of strikers do, but there's a term for him, peronymous. He's completely out of the game. It's not just 2 or 3 games where he's not scoring. He's completely vacant. No one sees him for 90 minutes. So it's a very interesting predicament, but he's a very good finisher. But it's, we all want the perfect striker, don't we? And I think if you combine Joseph and Peru, you'd have that.
Yeah, of course, I got someone saying that I'm jinxing it, and your forward line is very good. Forward is probably best in Championship, but I think I'm just comparing it to like, I guess what we were used to last year in Premier League. It's like it still feels like a massive jump. Like, can you imagine that forward line yours right now in Premier League and doing well? Not really, can you?
No.
Other than maybe Solomon, maybe he can make that jump because he does have, it looks like that kind of edge to him that can still be at a level. But who else? Really?
I think probably the other one's Ramazani, Liam. When he gets a few minutes, I think he's probably the one that you'd be looking at and thinking to yourself, he's someone who can make a difference. The interesting one's
how old is he?
Ramazani, I think he's early 20s. Early 20s, might even be younger. I'd have to have a check, but he's just come back from injury. Let us know in the chat, guys. I think he's. Say how old he is. I should know this. 23. Yeah, 23.
Wait, so is Willie Gnotto now he's now a bench player now? Basically,
yeah, man. He's
Jesus.
He's barely featuring. Yeah, he's barely featuring at the minute. I mean, he's coming on as a sub, but he's, the crazy thing is, Ramazani's 23, and I think a lot of people see him as older than Nonto's only 21. A lot of people forget that, but he's struggling at the minute, mate. I say struggling, in terms of featuring from the start, which obviously we know he will want to be doing. But what we do in rotation wise every game, Liam, is we bring in Ramazani and Nonto on around about the 70th minute. That's kind of the automatic subs at the minute.
That does surprise me. I think it's almost kind of like you'd imagine COLOSSAL would be better for us right now, but like he's just not. Yeah. So I kind of think that same with you and with Willie Gnotto. I thought that he'd be a much more, but yeah, I guess tough for scoring. That doesn't really mean much, but he looks dire for the last 2 months.
Yeah, he's not been great. He's one of those, Liam, where you kind of want to stick by him because of his ability. You want to stick by him, and that's where I'm at, really. I know his technical ability, and I want to stick by him. But then I'm like, well, if you're not proving it, mate, you're not proving it when you come on. At least Ramazani's coming on and scoring. He's not doing that at the minute, and I think that's the problem. There's been a lot of rumours about Saudi, clubs coming in for him as well, which would be interesting.
I'm just having a look here, and just from your point of view, in terms of who do you think really should be going up this year? Like, do you think it should be? I think it really should be us two. Like Leeds and Burnley should be top 2. Yeah. I don't think Sheffield United have really got the consistency for a long time. I think Sunderland's still a young team, and I think they'll be still decent, but I think they'll fall off at the end because of just their inexperience.
I think they're good though, mate. I think they're good, Liam.
They got potential, but I just think that they can just go hot and cold.
Yeah. I think the results like yesterday, I was a little bit like, wow, I didn't expect that. Like, you cannot be drawing at home to Plymouth. Like, you can't let them score 2 goals either. Their away form is horrific. They've got about 9 bodies out. Morgan Whittaker's just signed for Borough after saying that he didn't want to play for them and he didn't turn up. He went on a little hiatus. But I'm just almost like, I can't understand that, to be honest, how they've gone and done that to Sunderland.
Hey.
But
I'm 26 years old. I've been in Plymouth for my entire life. Plymouth last week was the worst Championship team performance I've ever seen. Yeah, they were diabolical. They could not make a single pass in that entire first half. They were just giving it to us the entire time. That's probably the worst. At least I can say first half, because second half we gave up. But first half, worst performance I've ever seen by any team.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think the thing is with our squads, right? Our squads are the most lucrative. That normally gets you promoted. We've invested the most in our squads. That normally gets you promoted. And that's kind of how I'm looking at it right now. But I don't know. There's something about Sunderland. Before this weekend, I had a bit of a bold shout, Liam. I said that it's going to be Sunderland in the top 2, and it's going to be either us, you or Sheffield United occupying the other spot. But I'm looking at, drawing to Plymouth, and I'm thinking, right, well, maybe that was a poor bold view. That's why it was bold. But I don't know. I like them. I'll be honest. I thought in the last 30, 35 minutes they were the better team against you guys at Turf Moor.
Oh yeah, they were. Yeah, that's the thing. If you were to get that Burnley, I guess it would have to be in the second half. But I guess it makes no sense because we've only considered one goal past the 60th minute all season. So I guess it makes no sense. But we have seemed to be on the edge in a lot of our games recently, it feels like. But again, against the top sides, we seem to do better. So again, I would have more faith beating Newton than I do beating Portsmouth for the weekend away.
Yeah,
that makes no sense to me, but it just does for us, it seems. Again, our home record is also probably not that great either compared to our away, it seems.
I guess you're not losing, are you? Which is a positive thing. You're not losing at home. You've only lost twice this season, so I guess that's the positive. But you've drawn a lot, haven't you? So.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a crack of a game tomorrow, Paul. Mate, if there's more than if there's 3 goals or more in this game, then I'll give Connor a tenner because it's just not gonna happen. like this game will just be a 1-0 either way or 1-1 draw. I can't see it being anything else differently, really. I just can't see it. It sounds boring as hell, but like it's Scott Parker. It's Scott Parker. Like he's just gonna aim to stick in the game and make it just as stick in the game.
Do you know why as well? You've just done a Leicester video, and I think your head's in that space. If we went up, you're looking at Leicester and you're thinking, God, this is going to be us. Like, I can't deal with this again.
I was talking to, I remember, Ellis Platt in away days, don't you? Massive Leeds fan. So like when we were coming down and you were in your playoff push next year, we were talking to him. It's like, mate, you don't really want to come up here. It's fucking hell. It's like, and of course, when the playoff final happened, like a week later, it's like, mate, trust me, you'll thank me. Next year's going to be much more enjoyable. Our title race will be great. Love it. Again, but like, what's the point then? Like, if I can't really think like this because it's almost stupid, it's like, okay, what the fuck's the point then of going up? Because it's what's the point of any of this? What's the point of life? Like, why are we even here?
And right on cue, it is the wonderful life. Have you ever seen our goalkeeper? You could score any amount of goals. Yeah, I mean, that's
our top goal scorer is Josh Brownhill.
Yeah, I think he's got 10, hasn't he? 10 goals.
Yeah,
incredible.
Like he's our top goal scorer, and his main thing is that he's just got know-how. He's got experience. He knows where to be and how to like pull players away. Like it's just crazy, man. Honestly, like. I don't want to sound like I'm like underappreciative, but my God, man, there's been too many 0-0 draws this year. It's been 7.
7, yeah. I mean, Declan just says a Burnley fan admitting they'll just full on park the bus. It's going to be a long old day tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not park the bus, but we're going to not like go for you. We're not going to go for you. We're not. We're going to try to keep the ball a bit and bore the life out of you, but we're going to make sure that you make a mistake. Yeah, I'll just hope you make a mistake, and if not, okay. We'll take the point.
Yeah, Michael says yesterday was shocking. We played Burnley off the park in both games. Should have at least a point at Bramall Lane. Connor's right. We're better than Liam is giving us credit for. I think, I get to be honest. Yeah, I get what he's saying, Michael. Probably in terms of maybe lapses like yesterday for Sunderland are massive. That can't continue. I've always prefaced a lot of Sunderland credit with it's just that element of inconsistency that creeps in. I wonder if that's because of just the age group that they're working with at this moment in time. But Enzo Lafay coming in, it feels big. If they can keep that midfield structure together in Dan Neil, Chris Rigg, Joe Bellingham. I mean, Bellingham's another one who's been rumoured at the end of the window to leave, isn't he? They can't let him go. He's so important. So they've got a good midfield structure there. I just wonder maybe if inexperience is going to come to the fore there. But you are still my bold shout, Michael. Still are my bold shout.
I've just seen the most dumbest comment I think I've ever seen. Apparently, I'm the biggest, most bitterest Leeds-hating Fraggle going. Whatever a Fraggle means. I just openly said that I openly quite often listen to the Square Ball and also you. So I don't know how that makes any sense. Since when do I hate Leeds?
No, he doesn't, mate. We always talk. Me and Liam talk a fair bit, and he's always extremely complimentary of Leeds United. So no, mate.
Yeah, for a person who hates Leeds, I got many Leeds friends. Many.
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
I still get people though. When of course you sent us down. Like, was it 3 years ago now? And like my
response to it was almost like just saying to Leeds fans, like enjoy this because this is what football's about. And people keep still having to go at me. Like people was actually like Leeds fans were really nice in the comments because they're like, oh, I really want to give you shit, but you actually were nice to us. Good luck next year. It's like, oh, I kind of wanted to really rip into you, but you're too nice. Fuck you. It's like, all right, thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Mate, this is the old fan channel world, isn't it? It's you can never say anything. I've noticed, mate, with doing this for as many years as I have done, I could say anything and it's gonna even if it's just the most placid thing ever, and I'll end up offending someone, even without any intention there. But no, it's I tell you what, mate. Well, let's have a little. So you think it's just going to be a bit of a mundane nil point, sort of game, 1-0, 0-0. You just going to go the draw for this one?
That's what it'd be planned out to be. If it maybe knowing our luck, maybe it'd be a crazy game, it'd be a 3-2, whatever else. But like odds are, it'll be aimed to be. We're going to try and beat you 1-0. Yeah. We're going to try and beat you 1-0. That's going to be the aim of the game.
How will you play?
4-1 Leeds. We've conceded 9 goals. Or if you concede 4 goals, fuck it, I'm giving Connor 50 quid. Okay, like 4 goals. Are you kidding me? Jesus. We've conceded 9 all year.
Yeah, we're gonna nearly put a big percentage on that one. That 9 goals. I mean, you're on course right now to the Chelsea 15 goals conceded tally, mate. That's what you're on course for right now. We're like 65% through the season. Giant Dwarf says Melee howler. Oh no.
If Melee has a howler, then I'll be straight onto your channel, Connor. I'll give you some a retweet as well. I'll promote you.
I think this is the thing, mate. If he puts in another serious blunder, I think I've just got to take a bit of time off. Book like 4 or 5 days in the Lake District or something like that. Just take some time out.
Has to. I saw I think on Square Ball they were saying that we don't care about Burnley, but like us lot actually like by Burnley fans, like Burnley sees like Leeds as like an actual derby. It's like I just think it's just no one likes Leeds in the entire country. That's basically it's got the Lancashire Yorkshire thing, and I guess Skipton is kind of like a crossroads for us in terms of catchment area, but that's kind of it. No one likes Leeds, and that's why it's almost a case of like I respect Leeds as a club because it's like but like at least like it's justified of like their idea of being a big club is because. The amount of times I used to go home and away for fucking countless years at Burnley before I moved to Poland, right? The amount of games I'm at like Burnley versus I don't even know, like let's say Coventry, and suddenly you just say, "We all right, Leeds scum, we all right," and both fucking sides of fans are all chanting, "We all right, Leeds scum." That's happened 20 times in my entire life, just randomly. And it's just, that's the thing. At least your idea of being a big club is justified because you just got random like club of, I don't know, Sunderland versus Millwall and they're all chanting "We all at Leeds scum," and it just happened.
Mate, I was watching the Man United game before we started this, and for about 20 minutes of that, it's "We all ate Leeds scum" from the Man United fans. So, and I presume the Fulham fans will probably join in with that as well. So, yeah.
Well, yes, United makes sense because of the rivalry, I guess. But yeah, Fulham's a bit odd. It's a bit odd, to be fair.
Yeah. It's universal, isn't it? Universal with Leeds. But to be honest, Liam, I won't have it any other way. It's interesting. It's always funny when you go abroad and someone says to you, "Who do you support? Do you like football?" Yeah, I like football. Who do you support? You got a bit of a northern twang. I'm a Leeds fan. Oh, Leeds. And he'll be like, "I'm a Bradford fan," or "I'm a I'm a Barnsley fan," or whatever it is. And I'm like, all right, okay, I got another one.
Anyone from Yorkshire or I guess even Lancashire, to be fair.
Yeah.
Across the entire country.
That's it. All right, bud. Well, there's lots of Up the Clarets in here. Welcome, Up the Clarets. Yeah, Visa bringing the army. But we'll. So, mate, I was going to ask you for a score prediction, but I mean, if you go anything else but a draw, I'm just going to call you a fraud after all of this.
I'm gonna go 1-0 Burnley. There you go. I might as well. I'll go 1-0 Burnley.
You scumbag.
It'd be either 0-0, 1-0, 1-1, which is actually quite a common scoreline, to be fair. But like, I just can't see there being many more goals. Like, if you're a betting man, under 2.5. Like, what's the odds for under 2.5 in this game? It must be like, I don't know, really, really low.
Yeah, it will be.
It has to be.
Yeah.
But it's a massive game. And you know what I would say for you guys? It is simply just a must not lose. It's a must not lose for you boys. Like, if you win, it would feel like you would then go on to win the league. But if we win, it doesn't feel like we'll then go on to win the league. Like it feels like that kind of thing. Like it's a massive 3 points if you take it. If we win, it's like, okay, you wouldn't say that, okay, Burnley are favourites to win the title. I wouldn't get that feeling. But if you guys win, then it absolutely would be. So if you don't lose, then you should be happy with that. In my opinion.
We don't that pressure. Don't put that pressure on Leeds because we know what happens, mate. Just let us. We can't ride just as like a
if you win, your title favourites guaranteed. Yeah, it has to be, right? So like it's just a must not lose.
Yeah. Ollie says, I think that's a really fair comment, mate. I think Burnley score first and we really struggle to break them down. I think 100% happens like at Ellen Road. I think if we score first, Liam, we've got a record of scoring first and we've won. I think it's something like 60 games when we've scored first. So, it's a
this
pretty
year's the same. I think we've gone ahead 14 times and we've won 13 and drawn the other one.
Yeah.
Pretty
Definitely.
Sure. So yeah,
whoever
scores first, if there was a goal, would win, basically.
Phil says, big Visa vlogs were always class. We're stuck behind him at Bournemouth and Olympiacos away. There we go.
Olympiacos. Burnley was in the Europa League, mate. Do you know how nuts that is?
Mate, that rich European history, Olympiacos. So, hey, more recent history than we've got, mate. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but I can't remember the user to say we're a bigger club than you, can I?
Exactly.
I've been Burnley playing Europa League, but then they'll say, well, it's only the playoffs, mate, qualification and that. Who cares? Oh, well, I care, mate. Shut up.
What about a bit of a story arc as well to finish off? Burnley get back to the Premier League, right? Burnley get back, hypothetically, within 5-6 games, Scotty Parker gets sacked.
You're going to say Sean Dyche, aren't you?
Sean Dyche is available. What are you saying?
I'll smash my head into a wall, mate, probably. Like, what's the point of the last 3 years of my life? It's just going to end
10 years.
That's why we're soft to launching Sean Dyche by sending John Joel Shelby and Ashley Barnes again. That's what we're doing. It's just soft launching it for him.
Jay Rodriguez still there as well, of course.
Yeah, 48-year-old Jay Rodriguez up top still for us, mate. Good on God. Where's Sam Vauxhall? He's somewhere, isn't he?
Get him back. He didn't do it for us. He did it for you guys. But yeah. Right, mate. I'll let you go. Thanks so much for joining us, bud. Really, really appreciate it. Your insight's always top, as always. Check out Visa. You all will do anyway. But if you haven't, its link will be in the description below and or the title. It's been an absolute pleasure. Liam, cheers for joining, mate.
Appreciate it, mate. Utter walk nonsense. That's all I need to say to that. I'm going to watch the game, but I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it. That's basically.
I'm sure we'll be. Well, when I'm on the watch long, mate, I'll send you some texts and we'll wait and see how it goes. So, yeah.
If Anthony scores, mate, I'm going to laugh.
Oh, Connor Roberts.
Do you boys even like Anthony, or is he just kind of like a nothing feeling towards him?
Sort of like, yeah, nothing really to it from my standpoint anyway. Nothing really to it. I think there's probably some Leeds fans who aren't a fan of him for whatever reason, but it'd be interesting to see what sort of reception Connor Roberts gets tomorrow. I mean, it shouldn't be anything negative, but I wouldn't.
Did you guys not like him, or was he like? Did he go out badly or something?
No, not really. He just didn't really leave an imprint. I actually think a lot of Leeds fans wanted him back, to be honest with you. I think it'd just be interesting to see if he does turn into a bit of a shithouse tomorrow. Let's say you go 1-0 up and he starts time wasting.
Oh no, he will. Yeah.
So suddenly there's going to be a different mindset on Connor Roberts, I think. So
he's absolutely going to shithouse tomorrow. I just don't know if it's in a good way or bad way. Basically, was his only goal or only moment for you guys when he scored against Leicester?
Yeah, big moment. Yeah. Big. That game, by the way, where we got utterly battered and somehow won 3-1, and that's it. I mean, we beat Ipswich twice, beat Leicester twice, and we still didn't go up. So just because you beat a team twice, if you do a team twice in the top 4, it doesn't mean you're naturally going to go up. It's just consistency across the season, isn't it? So
what was that game? Oh, I know what game it was. I remember watching it really well. I think it was your reaction to it to the QPR game away. That was great. I was a massive fan of that. You lost to Rovers at home, and you lost away at QPR. Great entertainment. Please keep it up.
I was also on a night out in Manchester, and I was full. It was a bar, and it was full of Man United fans in there, and I was watching QPR put 4 goals past us when they were in like the bottom 5.
It was 4, wasn't it? Sorry.
4-0.
2-0, 4-0. Fuck me.
Hideous, mate. Hideous. But yeah, that's the life. And I'm really hoping that doesn't repeat itself again. But
yeah. Okay, you sent us down like 3 years ago, so I guess you're still winning. I guess you win in the end.
That's it. Right, guys, we'll leave it there. Cheers. See you in a bit.